So the news just kind of came to my attention that Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, has cut his salary and annual bonus by 50%. Now, the numbers that have been thrown around, where his stock value was supposed to be 200 million, and then after taxes ended up only being 41 million. His salary has been estimated, was estimated from one side at 30 million, but now that we have some legal things, says it's being reduced from 1.75 million to 875,000. Says that while these numbers are substantially larger than what the vast majority of us will ever see in our total net worth in our lifetime as annual salaries, when you talk about CEOs of companies this large, he's actually a lot more in line. He's not making, when you take the top end of what people were estimating his salary to be and the top end of what people were estimating his bonus to be, you're like, wow, they got layoffs and he made $250 million. His net worth is like estimated at $400 to $600 million. If he was making $250 million a year, he would be a billionaire. So like, is he wealthy? Yes. Is he a CEO in charge of a wealthy company? Yes. But I think there's been a lot of talk about Bobby Kotick being, there have been people who said he's the manifestation of greed and things like that, and I've said I don't think that's fair, because he could be worse. Like, there are people that that don't do these things, but within the spectrum of greed, I did say, like, there are other times in history where Nintendo people have taken pay cuts to keep people on, where Apple leadership have taken pay cuts to keep people on, and so he definitely was not on the from greed to altruism scale within people who make crazy amounts of money. He was not all the way on this side, but he was not the incarnation of this other side. The response to that from, some of the discussion here in our community was, well, we should make them be on this side. I think that takes away from the true altruism. Court-mandated community service does benefit the community, and it's good that those things get done, but it does take away a little bit of the kindness, knowing that somebody has to be there. And so I think setting rules in place, or setting at least rules of society here in the court of public opinion, that you have to give it away or you're a terrible person, takes away from when people choose to give it away. And so I don't want that. It looks like he's chosen to do that. It looks like he's chosen to move closer to that end of the scale. And I don't think this thing on its own means you need to forgive or trust Blizzard. I've been in a discussion the last couple days with somebody in the comments section, either here or over on Work to Game. I don't remember exactly which one, because I go back and forth in the comments sections. But they tried to equate the fact that I said WoW Classic was a neat experience and was worth giving a try with condoning actions around Blizzard's past history for things like Blitzchung. The world is complex. I don't know what age you're going to run into it. Maybe you're lucky and you never do. But at some point in your life, you're going to realize that you don't always get to choose your favorite thing or your least favorite thing. That's not how the world works. You don't go to the voting, to put your ballot in and you're like, well, there's one candidate that's everything I want and one that's everything I hate. The world is not that simple. There are a lot of things going on, and you have stances on many of them, and some of them you don't have time to have an informed stance on, and so you either make a split decision or you just don't care. And you take all of those and you sort them in your priorities. And so maybe, the way humans are treated is important to you, or maybe employees or customers or price or environment, or maybe some of those things are more important. Maybe some don't matter to you, and you're going to sort them, and then you're going to try to pick the actions in your life that let you get as many of the top things as possible. But you might have to give up your second place thing in order to get your third, fourth, fifth, and sixth thing. It's not that simple. So I'm not saying, wow, way to go, Bobby, you saved Blizzard. That's not what I am saying. But Blizzard got to the point of frustration with the community by making a series of bad decisions, and that whole rule of, it takes 10 compliments to offset one insult. It's going to take a long road to get past the moments that, whether or not those moments are fair, the moments that stick in our head. You think you do, but you don't. Don't you have phones? The Blitzchung situation, it coming out that employees are not being treated well. Many of the choices they've made around monetization. There are all of these areas that are valid frustrations with Blizzard, and any one of those, depending on where it falls on a player's priority list, might be enough that they have to distance themselves from Blizzard, much less if that player feels affected by multiple. There are people that go and work for Blizzard every day who do it because they care about making good games, and they believe Blizzard games can be good games. You can't sum an entire company up by one thing. Bobby Kotick is one of the faces of what many of us interact with on Blizzard. Bobby Kotick, Jay Allen Brack, Ian Hanakostas are what many of us associate here in this community because we talk about MMOs. And so those are the three faces that have some of the largest impact on World of Warcraft that we get to see, right? We know their names. And so to see Bobby do this is a step in the right direction. And I think it's worth saying, like good job, Bobby. You know, like, and it's not like, oh, well, good job, we're praising them for not making a mistake. This is actively a good thing. This is not even like, wow, way to not screw it up. No, this is actively a good thing. This is actively saying the situation sucks. I've got a lot of bad doors in front of me, and I'm going to pick the one where some of the heat falls on me. Does he still make a lot of money? Absolutely. More money than many of us will ever see. Could he have given up more? Sure. I think putting himself in what Wowhead says is the bottom 25% of average earned by CEOs in similar companies, and putting his maximum potential bonus in the middle, in the median of those people, is a good thing. What that tells me as a message is it says, you know what? We're not doing right. I am in the bottom quarter of companies that are similar to me right now in performance, and my guarantee needs to match that. But if we rock this thing out of the park, I think I deserve to be average. Numbers aside, I think that is a fair thing to say about Bobby. If you knock it out of the park, you get to be in the middle of the pack. Nothing you can do puts you at the top, because nothing you're doing is at the top. Do you deserve to make a wage? Yes. Has the industry decided for some reason that CEOs are worth 10,000 times an average worker? Yes. Is that fair? That's a different conversation. Bobby's core salary is set by market pressure. Market pressure currently says that that having 2 commas is par for the course. Fine. I think this is a good thing. I think that the criticism in the past of him getting bonuses during layoffs, it's bad optically. I've talked about it in the past, and I say optically because I don't have all the facts, right? This isn't a court case where I'm in the jury and I've been presented with, days of discovery. That's not what happened here. Maybe it's, hey, if you do these things over a 5-year plan, you deserve this bonus. He does them over a 5-year plan. It happens to fall in a year with a layoff, but he's getting a bonus that he's entitled. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it really is that simple. Maybe it's, if you lay these people off, we'll give you money. In which case, that sucks. But I don't know. I don't have all the facts, and I think that this and the legal language that's revealed here says that, this is good. Activision's market capitalization has increased from less than $10 million to over $70 billion while he was in charge. There are things under his resume that if you were just hiring somebody, say, hey, like, Bobby's been around for some good stuff. Does he deserve a second comma? Sure. I'm not telling anybody to like him, but I think that this tells me, to all of the people out there that hate Blizzard Activision, if you're looking for something to say, we could turn this around, they've taken that step a couple times now. I think that a lot of the changes around, I think BlizzCon 2 years ago had a lot of things said that said, okay, we're taking a step in the right direction. I think the launch of Shadowlands and the pre-patch event and all of that said, hey, we're taking a step in the right direction. I think this says, hey, we're taking a step in the right direction. What we need now is for it to not just be one step at a time. Can we turn around and take 2 or 3 steps in a row without having a, oh yeah, sorry about 9.1, it's 9 million months in the future? Can we take a few steps in the row without saying, hey, the Overwatch 2 leadership is changing and we're not really ready to reveal a date or anything that says that we're still okay with that? Like, can we take a few steps back to back to back where we don't have to have these weird, like, it's good but like so thank you, Bobby, for doing something. And when you look at the amount of money being thrown around here, it's a substantial something, so thank you. Thank you for putting yourself more in line with what I personally think is fair. I think having a base salary in the bottom 25% of CEOs in a similar space describes where I think you belong. I think saying that if you earn your maximum potential bonus for performance, you deserve to be in the middle of the pack and no higher, I think that's fair. Now, whatever those numbers end up being, that's different. And I think that now what I want to see is like, okay, can we build on this? Can there be momentum where those of us with multiple things that frustrate us can start to, like, maybe forgive or forget or at least tolerate 1 or 2 of the bad things on our list because the sheer amount of things that make it look like you care and you're taking steps in the right direction. I don't know what those things are. That sucks for you guys. Figure it out. I don't know. We'll tell you when it's enough. I'm really glad that I'm not in that position where you've done something wrong and now the community gets to hold you hostage until they say so. But that's where you are. You got there due to actions you took. You'll get out of there due to actions you take. So I guess get to work. Yeah, this is news about Blizzard. This is all tied to this. We've seen companies turn their image around for the worse. We've seen companies turn their image around for the better. It's all just gaming, kinda.